At the opening, I introduced this section to talk about, divine change makers with animals and children. How do you see all that fitting in and being part of the process in that way?
Yes, well, one of the things is that both animals and children are like a conduit for our inner selves and for our connection to spirit. Each one of them, in their own way, helps us to connect, and I'll give a couple of examples. One is with children. As we observe children, whether or not you have children of your own, or if you go out and see children in the street or that neighbors have, you will notice that unlike some adults, perhaps in your sphere, children have a curiosity. And children are always asking questions. Children have an openness. And children also are very much impacted by their environment, and they're very telepathic. And there are a lot of abilities that the children have that adults have as well, that the children can remind us of.
That we've kind
and
of
help us to connect with.
Covered
Yes.
up and buried and
Yes.
conceptualized and habitualized otherwise. And
Right, right. And quite often, what I will hear from my clients is that their children will bring up things that even relate to another time and place that they couldn't have possibly known unless they really remember that time and place. And the children will simply come out with it. And I'll give you one example. A mother may be driving around Los Angeles, and her child is in the back seat and saying, "Mommy, do you remember in the 1800s when we went to this other place and it looked just like that building?" They will say things like that because they remember.
So are you noticing in your practice that has spanned a number of years that children, and we talk about them as indigo children or star seed children, that there are more and more people coming in with those gifts unforgotten, those
Yes.
remembrances?
Much more.
And so they're available to really be helpful to the adults who've built these barriers?
Yes. Yes, I say look at the children as teachers. We are teaching them, of course, but they are teaching us.
With a certain openness of spirit, a certain living in the moment.
Yes, and also
spontaneity.
look to the children to notice, because they will mimic your patterns. They will mimic even some bad habits. So if you watch the children and you see them picking up on some things, you will have a sense of what to look at in yourself. Because it did not come from nowhere.
You think it has something to do with you? I would say it probably does. And animals, the same thing, an innocence.
Yes. Yes. Animals also are our teachers. And one of the biggest things that animals teach us is about unconditional love.
Even cats? Because they're a species unto
Very
themselves.
much. They're very independent.
They're independent
Yes.
as well. But,
Yes.
but they do have unconditional love.
They do.
But they are on their own a lot.
Yes, they are on their own.
I have a cat who's...
So they
That's
have
true.
their own unique spin on things, don't they?
Right, they certainly
Yes.
seem to, for sure.
And
Different
their-
than dogs, for sure.
And their own timings.
Right.